Hey, what's up? So in this video, we will be looking on how we can take control over the prefetch related, how we can customize it, maybe add some filters on the posts. For example, only fetch the posts that have a category C++, or only fetch the posts that have a category and that category only C++. So only one category and that category is C++. Usually these on the front end are the filters, like maybe on the top or something. Uh, yeah, so we'll basically just try to filter the many-to-many relationships and to the one-to-many relationships using the prefetch related function. But first thing, not sure if you like wondered about this. What will happen if I remove this like prefetch related for the categories? This could be an honest mistake that could lead like to very big issues in the future. And why is that? Because let's actually go to the user serializers. You will see that we are referencing the post using the user post serializer. And for each post, you are telling the serializer, hey, go fetch these categories using this user post category serializer, and this one will point to the categories. So Django behind the scenes, or the serializer to be like specific, will understand I need to reserve the categories for each post while serializing. So if you think about it, this is like joining a query for each post, right? Since we are not prefetching the categories, this will be a query, a new query for each post we have, which let's actually like first run the server. I already did that. I think we are past that. So let's actually now go to that URL that we built and hit refresh. You will see we have 37 queries. Can you see this? Oops, I think no. We have, yeah, 37 queries. But if we return this prefetch related for the categories and hit refresh, you will see we have only 4, and we actually went through these 4 and checked them out. But if you remove this, which could be like an honest mistake, no one like on purpose does that, you will see the queries went to 37 queries. This is similar to the n+1 query problem, but in a different like flavor. This caused by the serializer, not the code that you actually try like to access. For example, I'm trying in a for loop to access the posts. For example, I'm looping over a users, and for each user I'm trying to access the post. The ORM behind the scene will do the join and fetch that, and this will cause the n+1 query problem. Here, the serializer will actually cause the n+1 query problem. Maybe I will do a separate video about it, but this is something that you should definitely care about. And yeah, basically the serializer here will go and try to fetch the categories because we told it to do that. And if we added the prefetch related for the categories, we already have them, so it won't run so much extra queries to do that. I hope this was clear. Basically, this is the n+1 query problem, but in a different like flavor. I hope you Google about it. But at some point I will do a video about it and actually explain it, explain how it will happen in serializers or in the like normal code you will write outside the serializer in Django. But this is like a small introduction that I think really fits here. So I think now the second thing we will do here, how about I like only get the categories for each post that contain or that have the name C++. Remember that in our category we have this name, in our category model we have this name property, and it will be one of these. So let's actually get only the categories that have C++, and we can actually just do it here. So the way I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna go here at the top, and from django.db.models import prefetch class. This is like a class that actually gives you more control about the prefetch related function. So let's actually remove this, and I'm gonna add a new line. So prefetch related, I'm gonna give it the same argument, but also we can here get or provide a query set. This to customize fetching the posts categories relationships. So I'm gonna say, hey, I'm gonna filter the categories. I'm gonna need to import it, right? So from categories.models, import category names. Sorry, import category, and from category.model name enums, import category names. So I'm gonna say, hey, for each, like, after you fetch these, say category.objects.filter, where the name will be equal to category names.c++. Now let's actually hit refresh. You will see that all the categories are empty unless we find a category with C++, and since I know my database, we have one in the third page, which is this guy here. So we have this category of C++. But if you think of, let's actually, before that, look at the queries. So the posts query are the same, the users are the same, we're not doing anything. I hope you can see that. Let me zoom. Yeah, the users category, the post are the same. This is also the same, the users. But the only thing that like changed because of our changes here is this here, this where statement. So where category dot them equals C++. So this is what our change did here. We just filtered the categories like this, and that's it. But what if I want to filter or get only the posts? Oh, yeah, does this? You can see this, right? Anyway, so let's actually just get the posts that have the C++ category in them. So no matter how many categories it have, it should at least have C++ to return it. Let me minimize myself like this and increase the font size, just in case. Okay, now to do this, I'm gonna also use the prefetch, but I'm gonna only just prefetch the posts. Then in the query set, I'm gonna say, hey, we need to filter the posts, and let me show you how. So from post.models, import the post. And now post.objects.filter. I need to filter the posts based on the categories. And remember, if you go to the post, we have this categories field, which points to a many-to-many relationship between the categories through the category post model. I think this is a common case that you will face in your app. So I'm gonna say, hey, go filter the categories, and two underscores means this is a relationship or maybe a custom like operator like the in. I'm gonna show you that in a moment. So filter the names for each categories we have in these posts where the name in, for example, category names.c++. If you want to add something more like this, you feel free to do it, but this is the n keyword if you want to use it. Now let's actually try to do this, or try to run this in the browser. We have 14 queries. We've actually filtered only the posts that contain a C++ category. As you can see, this one contained 4 categories, one of them C++. We actually filtered the data. This actually worked. This just look at the SQL queries. You will see that a lot of them will actually do 2 joins for each post. We will do 2 joins to get the categories and to get the categories, because it's a many-to-many relationship. We will go to join to the post category like junction table, and we will go to join after that to the category and filter where the category name is C++. And this will happen for each post, which is something not good, right? This is like the n+1 query problem. We are doing n extra queries for each like entity or model we have, or something we want to return, right? So this is not good. 14 queries is not good to return these. So what we can do to fix it is to tell it, hey, before, and again, this caused by the serializer. The serializer here understands that I need to get the categories. We already went through this, the categories for each post, and it will do the joins to do that. To prevent these so many queries, we will call the prefetch related also here, and we will pass to it the categories. Before sending everything to the serializer, I've already got the categories that I have, so the serializer can work without doing so many extra queries. And as you can see after the refresh, I have 4 queries. Yeah, before I used to have 14, I think. So yeah, I hope this was clear. That's why the Django debug toolbar is so important. My advice when you try to run like complex queries or anything like you feel it's complex, just open the Django debug toolbar, see how many queries that you actually caused, and that will help you a lot. But I think here we also have an issue. Maybe in our front end we have this filter that says I want the posts that only have a C++ category, only, not containing a C++ category, because here we are returning any post that contains the C++ category. How we can do that? We only want a post that have one category, and that category is C++. To do this, of course, I wrote the code previously. That's why I'm looking here and here. But yeah, so to do this, I'm gonna say for each post, we need to add a count of the relationship with the categories in the returned post. For example, in SQL, this is exactly the count statement. So I'm counting the relationship here. I'm filtering on the relationship count. So to do this in Django, you will use the annotate function, and you need to also use the count class from this path. You can see, yeah, from django.db.models, go to this and import the count. Now we need to actually give this count a name, so I'm gonna say categories count. This could be any name you want. So categories count will be equal to count, and this actually count the relationship, and we know the name of the relationship, right? It's categories. Okay, so after this, we can now filter based on this count of the relationship. So I can say, hey, categories count will be equal 1. So what this means, select only the posts that the count of the relationship with the categories through the many-to-many table, the category post table that we created is 1. So it only have one record there, and that category name is C++. So I can say this, right? It's not in, it's like this. I hope this was clear. But in a realistic example, you will have a lot of if statements here to maybe you will create a single endpoint. No matter what the user send in the query param, you will inject these in the query set, and you can do that. It's totally doable. And each query set you can actually, by the way, store it in a variable, then attach more queries to it, and this will be like a big single query, not many queries. So yeah, this is basically it. This is how we can filter based on the relationship count. Let's actually test that. And as you can see, we only, for example, we only got, we are still on page 3, but we are only still have the post that only have a C++ category, and only that. Anything else, we don't get it, even if it has, it should only have one category, and it's C++. Let's actually go to the Django debug toolbar. And the awesome thing, we still have 4 queries, which is very nice. Even we are doing something a little bit more complex than we started. So the user's query is still the same. And this is the post query. And as you can see, we are getting the count of the relationship, the categories count. Let me zoom. Yeah. So we are counting the post, category post. This is the junction table. Yeah. And we are counting the category ID as, and we are doing all these joins. And having count, this is the filter. This is this guy here. So when we filter on the count of the relationship equal 1, this will be translated to having count equal 1, this count. And yeah, at the end, this is a normal query for the categories. So yeah, I hope this was useful. I hope you learned something interesting here. Yeah, I will try to make these queries as complex or maybe realistic as possible, because you will write something like this in a real world application. And please make sure that you don't do so many queries, and your queries does not increase with the number of data you return. Please make sure you do that. Yeah, I'm done with the video, but I'm just gonna show you something extra. Let's say, for example, I remove this. So we have still 4 queries. Let's remove this guy, and let's remove the count. I don't need it. I need to return here, where we actually did so many queries, right? Or let's actually just remove everything, and let's just do, hey, prefetch related the posts. I want to show you something really bad. So we have now 30 queries. Let's say, for example, we are returning a lot of data, okay? And to simulate this, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna return this class here, okay? Because I want to say or I think I can do it here. So paginate pad. I should be able to add here like the paginated class, right? Just I am able to do it here. So pagination class equal none. I think I could do that. So let's actually come here and do it just to test it. So I'm not paginating anything. So it's very slow as you can see. And we run 141 queries. So yeah, be careful about this like issue. It's called n+1 query problem. It's really caused most of the time by honest mistakes. So just be careful about that. And yeah. So now the only fix is still usually an easy fix. Just tell it, hey, prefetch related. Also like I don't want to misspell that. Also prefetch related the categories, and now we return to two queries. But I think I did something cannot find. Oh, sorry, it's two underscores for notating a relationship, right? So now we return to three queries, which is very nice. So yeah, I hope this was useful. Bye. You will see there is like you will see the code commented out here for each case that I showed you in the repository. I will put a link in the description if you want to check it out. And that's it. Bye.